Good afternoon, sisters. I am summoning my voice. And I have the distinct honor and privilege to introduce our speaker who summons her voice continually. Sisters, it's extraordinary to me when I encounter a woman who has such weighty accomplishments. She is a Southern of truth. She's a world-renowned biblical scholar, writer, ordained minister, public intellectual, and yet she's so humble, so humble. That's how I see it. Now, believe it or not, my first introduction, Dr. Weems, was at our inaugural Rise Up launch in New York just 2 years ago. The introduction, as I recall, was very similar to the one I just gave and the one that we've read and heard over the weekend. She was all these things, is all these things and more. But what I remember the most from that encounter, what was most impactful to me, was that she talked to me like I was her sister. And if I can take liberty, she talked to all of us like we were her sisters. Dr. Weems, she just read my heart. If I could snap my fingers, you could hear it. I mean, she just read my heart during that time in a way that just really seemed prophetic. She spoke to us from a place of transparency, respect, and appreciation for just where we were, or at least where I was anyway. She was the catalyst in Rise who helped me to see that we are really all the same and face similar challenges. So with practical simplicity, she empowered us to rise up, to thrive as women of color in ministry. So, Dr. Weems, if I am permitted to add just one more title to your accomplished bio, it would be that of sister. Of sister. So, my sisters, I invite you to open up, get ready, take hold of, realize how favored you are to be able to hear what God has poured in to this woman of God for such a time as this. Let's rise and stand up and receive Dr. Renita Weems.
Let's put our hands together again. I don't see Dr. Leith, but I assume she is making her way. It is good. Come on and just thank God one more time. Thank you so much. The spoken word is just in case what the old women have to say is not relevant. That we get a spoken word right before. Amen. And that's a good thing, and that is a good thing. And so I'm grateful to God to be here, and I'm grateful certainly by all means for Dr. Rose and for her friendship down through the years and for her sisterhood and for the ways in which I think since I was, I'm trying to think when I met Dr. Lisa, and I believe it was when I was the Cosby visiting professor there in 03 and 05, to 03 to 05, and that's where I believe is when I really got to know Dr. Lisa Rose. And I want you to know that since then, since we met in 03 She's never failed to invite me to do things. She has been just a sister away. She has been a partner. She's been some years I'm Mary and she's Elizabeth, and some years she's Elizabeth. Dr. Lisa, as you walk into the room, and I am Elizabeth. Put your hands together for her and for her friendship. I know you were handling business. Don't worry, we know you were handling business. You don't get the luxury of just sitting down and eating and enjoy. You're putting out some fire, I am sure. But I want to thank God for her and for her consistency and for her long, many years of commitment to women and girls and development and leadership development. So I thank God for her. I am so glad to see so many colleagues and good friends, and certainly Dr. Serene Jones from the Union Theological Seminary, and for her great work and support of this work. Come on and put your hands together. Allies and partners, sisters. I want to begin with some preliminary comments. And I recognize who I am and where I am in my own journey as a woman who is those very terms that people use now: foremother, forerunner, trailblazer. You're like, I didn't plan to do none of that. I just said yes. No one wakes up thinking, I think I'll be a trailblazer today. I think I'll be a forerunner, foremother. You know, I'm like, oh, God. I'm now one of them. I'm a foremother. I just happen to still be alive. Amen. But the truth is, history has never known what to do with headstrong, unconventional, visionary thinking women of faith. You know the bumper sticker, well-behaved women do not change history. Meaning, obedient women do not rock the boat. Conventional women do not change customs, circumstances, and conventions. Difficult women do not settle. I'll say it again, well-behaved women do not change history. Obedient women do not rock the boat. Conventional women do not change circumstances and conventions. Good women do not challenge the status quo. Tales of women who take things in their own hands, challenge norms, question authority, rethink theology, create their own rituals. Stories like these eventually become stories about idolatry. Whenever women take things in their own hands, become difficult, unconventional, their actions are considered idolatrous, pagan, witches, radical. Whenever we create our own rituals, it threatens the status quo. As you've seen, I've posted, I have not burned in a sage yet, but I have burned palms and taken the ashes and poured and put it on somebody's forehead. I have stood over folks and called out demons, so I'm a witch. To make history, you have to step off the path, get out of your comfort zone, and be prepared to blaze a new path. Recently, I saw a quote by the producer, Shonda Rhimes, where she said, "You can waste your life drawing lines, and you can spend your life crossing them. I chose to cross them." But let's be honest, no woman wakes up wishing to make waves, be difficult, to be known as a hard woman, to be radical, to be different, to be problematic. No one wakes up wanting to be that way. You just wanted to preach, just wanted to go to seminary, just didn't want to get married right then to him. or her, was not trying to be radical, was not trying to be unconventional, was not trying to make waves. I just was trying to answer the call of God upon my life. Little did I know that with that comes labels. With that comes accusations. With that becomes charges against your character. With that comes people having opinions about whether you smile or not, what you look like, what you wear, who you are in relationship with or who you're not in relationship. We are both fascinated by and frightened by women who decide to chart their own course. Women who make their own rules, or women who refuse to. We are in ministry now, but the truth of the matter is we waste a lot of time being scared and afraid. Women who make their own path, or women who refuse to obey the rules, women who choose to live an unconventional life, women who get off the path laid for them. We don't quite know what to make of them. And the truth of the matter is that we go into the ministry, but we didn't mean to be difficult. We want to preach, but I don't want to be one of them. We want to pastor, but we don't want to lead. We want promotion and tenure, but we don't want to have to challenge systems. But I just thought that they would see me and just know that I should be promoted. I just thought that they would see me and give me the job at the church. I just thought that they would see all the work that I was doing. And of course they would say, she's so cute. Let me give her that job. She stays up all night long. And turn to somebody and say, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. That might be the title. Let's see where else I go. We spend a lot of years stunned by patriarchy. We waste a lot of years shocked at racism. We waste good years of energy taken aback by sexism, paralyzed by homophobia, speechless in the face of evil. Women waste a lot of years saying, I just can't believe. Oh, is it always this hard? How did you? And that is the substance of what women want to talk to me about. About how it was so hard, because we are stunned by hard living. We are shocked that they don't like us. We are taken aback by evil systems. And all we want to do is workshop about how hard it is. The panel yesterday, Jessica Torres, what was her name? Is their name? I gotta get my pronouns right here. But at the end, I think Jessica said something. I don't know if you all heard, and that made me go right upstairs and begin to rewrite this. You spend a lot of time on survival. You do a lot of talking about endurance and suffering. I said, yes, that is us. You have put your finger on it, but very little constructive work. Lots of moaning and deconstructing of how hard, just hold on. Just a little while longer. I'm talking about myself now. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about us. And we waste a lot of productive years asking, wondering, whining, why it's so hard. You see, there's typically a lot of unlearning a woman has to do before she wakes up. It's usually, quite frankly, about 40 that a woman begins to wake up. that is just about the time. I mean, and that's a generalization. God knows, you know, and it could be even ethnically and racially, it could be different. I mean, so it's a generalization, but that's just about the time you began to figure out that maybe this narrative was never written for you in the first place. That perhaps it will not be marriage by 22 and children by 30 and you know, a house and whatever else and living happily ever. And then you turn 40, and even if you got those things, whatever got those things mean, you began to see that perhaps, you know, but I thought that was more. You mean this is, well, wait. It is about 40 that a woman wakes up and begins to ask another set of questions, began to wonder, is this it? Because it's about 40 that your body makes you wake up. It's about 40 that what was up is going down. And what was over here is over here. And what you used to could find, you can't find. It's there, but you're going to have to hunt for it a little bit more. That's just about the time when you can no longer negotiate with the patriarchy with your body. As I say to my young, gorgeous 27-year-old daughter, and she's fine. But baby, one thing about being pretty, see, you prettier than your mama was. I had to read a book. You don't have to, because so you get away with giggling longer than I had. You can giggle longer. Chocolate women can't giggle as long as long-haired, light-skinned girls. So you keep giggling. But one day you're going to have to read a book and have a conversation and be smart. But I'm going to be already ahead of you. And it's when you wake up and say, I'm a size 6, but I ain't happy. I kept it all together, but he walked away anyway. And you began to say, is this it? There's got to be something more. And religion, I'm charging it now, and religion delays a woman waking up. It is designed to keep her asleep. That's what, I believe it was Reverend Dr. Nichelle who talked about that the other night as well. It is set up to keep us, the word is puerile, Puerile. It means in an arrested development. Stunted, silent, unsure, apologetic, distracted, and perpetually insecure. It is religion. I mean, as much as I love it, as much as I have had, as Gina said this morning, 1 foot in the academy, 1 foot in the church, and trying to find a way of reconciling these two irreconcilable passions of mine, these two jealous lovers of mine, this academy and this church. As much as I have, despite what my own other womanist colleagues who have a love-hate relationship like I do, and some of them have stayed in the church, some have not, and we all have our own story. But for me, I have recognized that there is a degree to which church, black church, Christianity, Western religions are designed to keep women, girls, for as long as possible. Oh, when I was your age, when I was younger, the worst thing you wanted to be called was radical, difficult. You're just trying to teach Bible study. I don't want to cause it. And so you get the student who comes to class and it's almost like, or you take them to a restaurant and I'm talking to my little mentee. I'm saying, you don't have to ask the waiter every time, can I have some tea? Can I have some? Say I would like some tea. Why? Maybe this is stupid. Oh, I don't know, maybe, so they sit in class, well, maybe this is stupid. Well, see, I don't know if anybody, do you understand what I'm saying? What's the newest phrase they're always saying that gets on my nerve? Do you know what I mean? What is it? You know what I mean? Am I making sense? And you're like, now, men never ask that, and they are never making sense. But the qualifiers, they're afraid to assert, they're scared to be wrong, they're not knowing how to take an idea and just work on it right in public opinion or in public face. And maybe I'm wrong and maybe I'm right. But this constantly apologetic that we involved in, and the church that which has taught us, and we have been wounded by our own theology. The theology of helpmeet, complementarian theology, seen but not heard theology. No such things as the two heads, because a two head is a monster theology. Religion. And yet we want to be a part of this tradition. And we think that if we are in it, therefore it has changed. Not so. Not so. Just because they've let us in doesn't mean that the system has changed. That is my charge to us. And that's what you have heard me say before, and you will hear me say for as many times as I need to say. What have we moved the needle? What does it mean for us to be this number of women coming into religious leadership, coming into pastoral leadership, coming into and moving into getting your D-Mins from this school and your PhDs from those schools? And I'm hearing you, and I you know, if you ever saw the television movie with what was it called, Jane Pittman, the autobiography of Jane Pittman, and who was the Cecily Tyson would lift up the baby and say, "Is you the one? Or do we look for another?" So you shake my hand and you're telling me you've got to get in a D-man, and you're getting your MDiv, and in my heart of hearts, as the woman who's on the other side, I say to myself, is she the one who will rock the boat and not just try to get a preaching engagement? Is she the one who will speak truth to power or just be happy for a Women's Day engagement? Is she the one who will change systems